So this is a concept that is not in your packet and not in any of the videos that I have shared on YouTube thus far. Maybe a few years down the line I've added something, but who knows? And this concept is the bow hold. So this packet's all about bowing, so we need to talk about the bow hold. And I'm going to show the bow hold that I use currently in the year 2017. That was taught to me by Warren Davidson. The nature of the bow hold is to transfer the weight of the arm to the bow into the instrument in order to make sound. Okay? And what that means is that we need the maximum amount of meat from our hands and our fingers attached to the bow. Okay? And they should be in good contact. So I'm going to form the bow hold with you, and I'm going to give you a few things that will help your students practice their bow holds. Okay? So, first of all, your thumb goes underneath here, and your back of your thumb will touch the bow hair. Okay? So I'm actually touching the bow hair with the back of my thumb here. Okay? You can see that? My thumb does not go here. My thumb does not go here. My thumb does not look like this, or here, or here, or here, or anything. In between the leather wrap and the frog and this little alcove, this is your house right here. Okay? That's where it is. Okay? Some teachers will have the thumb on this corner of the frog. That's fine too. That's close enough. Okay? That's just a different train of thought. That's very, very close. Okay? But for my purpose, I'm right on that stick. That's where I'm centered. Okay? So when you're doing this, I know I haven't said this, and I'm going to interrupt myself. Make sure when you're forming this bow hold that you are holding and supporting the stick with your left hand while you're forming the bow hold with your right. Okay? So I'm not holding the bow like this. That will create tension and bad news. Bad news bears. Okay? So support with your offhand. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to make that ring with our thumb and our middle finger. These are friends. They're always going to be together. Okay? So they're going to make a ring that the entire bow will make a fulcrum around. Okay? So we're going to place our thumb. And the checkpoint that we're looking for is that the middle finger is making contact between the ferrule and the frog. The ferrule is the silver, the frog is the black. Okay? And it's going to go right in the middle. Okay? Here's what this angle looks like. Okay? The back angle. Okay? So you can see that's making a ring. Bottom. Okay? Next, our ring finger, the stick of the bow, is going to make contact with this portion of our ring finger. Okay, so this first knuckle right here, this first crease. Okay, so that's going to go right in there. And that should be, and what that will do is make sure that your pad, this is more important, that your pad is on the frog, and that's going to be a lot of contact. That is the majority of your meat in your bow hold. Okay, that's a really good, secure way of holding the bow. Okay, so once again, thumb, ring finger, and that stick is right in that first crease of the ring finger. Okay, and right now I have a good bow hold. I could probably play the instrument this way. The other two are just generally supportive. Okay, now the ring finger is going, I'm sorry, not the ring finger. The index finger will vary greatly from person to person. This one should be laid out in front of the middle finger wherever is comfortable for the player. Some things to look out for that are just going to be wrong because of just general tension. You don't want them using straight finger like this. You don't want them like this, or you kind of see how that just looks uncomfortable. I have an extremely straight index finger. That's not going to be good. So a good way to think about it is this is where my hand is naturally with nothing in it. That should be about the same distance away from my middle finger. Okay? So it's a very, very similar amount of space. And that's where it's comfortable. Okay? Because that's where it naturally falls. And then your pinky will just rest on top. Okay? Most bows nowadays. You might get older bows. Most bows on the frog side. So for instance, my bow is cylindrical on this half. But on this portion of the frog, the stick here is an octagon. Okay? So you can kind of see, hopefully, that that's an octagon. Okay, trust me, there's 8 sides. This is completely round. Okay? And basically, your pinky will rest on the topmost side of that octagon. Okay? So if I'm going to slide all the way down, so you can see better, my pinky is resting on top of that octagon. Okay? Okay, resting right on top. It isn't here. It isn't here. Resting right on top. Okay? So now that we've formed the bow hold, I gave you all the checkpoints. I'm sorry that took longer than I thought it was going to. Here are some strategies that help your students practice bow holds. So, one, make sure that they always are either supporting with their offhand, they're having it placed on their instrument, or the bow is vertical. Those are the only ways to hold the bow, okay? So on this one, I'm sure you all know this one, the spider crawl. So a good way to do this adds many repetitions into creating a bow hold. So a good way to do that is to slide the thumb up, and then bring all the fingers with it. Slide the thumb, bring all the fingers with it. Okay? And every time, I'm not rushing through this and just going like this. I'm forming a bow hold every single time. So sliding the thumb up, bringing the fingers with it. Sliding the thumb up, bringing the fingers with it. So as you can see, I'm making that bow hold every time. Okay? This isn't acceptable either. I'm not just sliding the bow, because that's just you dropping it. This isn't a bow hold. I'm just dropping it. I need to be forming the bow hold between every one. So sliding the finger up, forming the bow hold. Sliding it up, forming the bow hold. This is about quality more so than quantity. And another good way is to make sure that the students, even when they're taking their bows out of the case, always make sure that they're forming it properly. Don't let them hold it like this. Okay? I can do this because I'm 22 right now and I know how to hold this bow. At least for me in my current situation in life. I can do this because I know what a good bow hold feels like. If you're 9 or 10 years or 11 years old and you're playing this for the first time, you don't know how to not punch yourself in the face. I mean, you need to make sure that every single experience that they have with the bow is an accurate one. Okay? So if they bring out their bow out of the case, none of this, none of this, none of this, bow hold. Every single time. And hopefully they will be more successful. Just to recap really quickly, the bow hold's purpose is to transfer the weight of the arm to the bow and to the instrument strings, okay? The purpose of the ring finger is to create that nice meaty connection, okay? The thumb and the middle finger are buddies. They create that ring that that will be a fulcrum around the string. Around the bow. Okay? This will be specifically useful with bounce strokes. Okay? The pinky's finger only purpose is to lift the bow off the string when we're done playing. That's it. My pinky is active right now when it's lifting off the string. That is its only purpose. Okay? The purpose of the index finger is to drive pressure into the bow for prepared strokes like that martelé that we talked about earlier. Okay? All right? And I believe that is everything.